And welcome Johnny Fumble members to our Thanksgiving Thursday night preview. I have my esteemed colleague, the revival of Black Jesus, aka Black Easter, and African American Jesus, aka African American Easter.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Thanksgiving
Sorry about
Day.
that outburst.
We'd like to thank our special guest, Carl.
Good evening guys. Good to be here.
What is your new name? You
First,
name.
you didn't introduce him as one of the premier podcasters of this year.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
premier podcasters.
Got it going early in the season.
People actually listen to your podcast.
That is true, and like Sean's.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. A quick run through of how things are going to go. We're going to review our previous week. We're going to then look at the overall standings, getting close to the playoffs. So things are starting to get interesting.
Things are heating up.
Not for me.
Some of us are starting to realise that we're
Things are cooling
consigned.
off for you.
It's over.
We're going to have a look at the waiver wire, and then look through the polls, and then finally our Thursday night matchups. So let's get right to it. A review of the previous week. In our first game, we had
What a week.
Nick versus Shane. What an exciting matchup that was, hey? Patrick Mahomes just hitting the wrong fucking guy. If he had just hit anyone else, I think he got like 40 points. That was bullshit. We have Our Tried, which I think is Rory. Rory with a late comeback against Gareth. I mean, Gareth looked like he might take it. I think
He's
it's
a bit of a dark horse this season. Suddenly he's in the playoff standings.
He's actually second
But where did he
overall.
even come from? And
Yes.
like his name is something depressing, like he's
It's
losing.
such
So
a
it really
boring
takes you
name.
by- I tried, and he's in second
Should
place.
be like my name.
Sacco matchup too. Nice, good one.
Yeah, that's one point.
I've changed my name.
Oh, you have. Okay, we'll get to it, even if you've told us. I've forgotten already.
What is it?
Sean of 2016 and 17.
Ooh, good name.
And 17. Both of those years. Let's
Just to
remember.
reinforce the fact that Sean has been
Let's
Sacco
forget.
twice.
Yep.
Okay, and our next matchup, next one was Johnny Alouette versus Carl. We like to make fun of Mark somehow winning with 99 fucking points every single week, but we can't blame him this week. He played Carl. Look, it didn't matter what he
That's
got, he was
fair.
going to win.
That's fair. That's a solid 99.
This is your
Solid.
3 week
Very
mark.
solid.
We expect you to win with more points in the future. Other than, this one's fine, we'll let it go.
I blame Le'Veon Bell.
Brent Trell, we have Brent Trell fucking such an unlucky Rick. Rick got the second most points this week with 137, but still got rocked by Brent Trell and my boy Kareem, who actually was the worst performer of this team, I think. Can't remember, Brent Trell.
Carry on was on fire. Let's just leave it at that.
Looking like he
Carry
was
on
going
on
to
fire.
overtake Shane's record. Almost did. And then Chris breaking Sean's streak. A very impressive, probably an 8-game winning streak.
Regulation.
Sean getting
Everyone saw it coming. We
77.
knew it would happen.
Finally, Sean's team did nothing. I think
He's not blessed.
I think we came to the realization in that game that James Conner isn't actually Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Like there are a few
As soon as Le'Veon Bell
Like when you
became
realise-
ineligible, bang.
like James
Game over.
Conner had an easy touchdown towards the end of that game and he just dropped the fucking ball. Like Le'Veon's a receiver.
They still won though. Quite impressive. Well played Steelers. Well played Brent Shaw.
Okay,
he
so
was
that's
waving
our-
his terrible towel.
So that's our week in review. Our previous week, week 11.
Very
On to
nice.
week 12. Let's have a quick look at the standings. We have Sean in first place.
Yawn.
9-2, even after a win, so Sean's still miles ahead, going to make the playoffs. And it then gets very interesting. We have Rory and Brendan, who have solid teams, very consistent. They look like a lock for second and third. And then we have...
Although the revival of African American Jesus did give Brendan a little schnizzering last week.
Ooh, Sean.
That did happen.
Yeah, you're on a good run, eh? Taking out Brendan and Sean in consecutive weeks. That means your matchups going
That basically
forward.
means I'm the best, I
And
think.
then you'll lose to me, and then you'll be like,
That's definitely going to
But
happen.
it means that you've got
That
to
will
play some
definitely
bottom
happen.
feeders. You've got to play some bottom feeders going forward.
the guys at this ruin that run.
Shit.
Yeah.
I've just realised that
Play
this
Brendan.
this is not going to be out before the Lions start playing.
No.
Brent Trell, you got to play carry on, my friend. I see
Play
Dion Lewis is in this lineup, and quite frankly, it's insulting.
Oh yeah, guys, you'll be happy to know that we
Like,
prepared this
obviously,
week.
30 points
Yes.
last week wasn't enough for you. It's enough for me. And quite frankly, against the Bears, the Lions are going to dull them. Who are the Bears? Who is that?
This is not going
I don't
to
even.
go well
do
for
they
the
even
Lions.
have tubers?
They don't.
Isn't he injured?
We'll get to that.
Although,
with
like,
the
he's
matchup
pretty
preview.
jacked anyway, so I suppose it doesn't matter.
Spicy take. Spicy take.
Not a very spicy take.
We're not sure about
I
that.
don't think it's a very. I don't think
He's
that's
a better
hot
runner than he is quarterback. Let's put it that way. He's actually quite quick for a white guy. Where were we? Okay, we just got past Rory and Brendan, and then
Sorry.
we have Chris, Rick, and Mark on 6 and 5. Mark way behind on the points for. He's 300 points behind. 200 points behind everyone else. So he has to end up with a better record than everyone else, which is going to be tough. He did it last season though. Did exactly the same thing last season. He had the worst points for, somehow pulled it out his arsehole. So I suppose you can't count the man out.
Shane last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we have Shane, who I would say Shane's still in the race with 5 and 6. After that, Gareth 4 and 7. You're not going to make it. Then me 3 and 8. I'm looking to survive relegation, and Carl locked in for Sacco. So I think we predicted a Gareth versus Carl Sacco ball.
Yeah, Carl.
I've conceded to that one.
Yeah, Carl and Sean are basically the inverse of each other. Sean is doing very well. Carl obviously not so much, but Carl, like your player friend starting now, 77 Fabianos Carl still has.
Exactly.
77.
And let's talk about Fabiano's left before we even look at the waiver wire.
Just those Fabianos. Carl,
So-
77. He's looking for someone to snap their ACL in the next 5 minutes so you can quickly. Okay, wait, that doesn't
It's
work.
like it's real life, Carl. Spend money. It's Black Friday.
I'm sorry, that's risk coming from you.
Carl, it's almost Black Friday. You can spend all your Fabianos and get like average players.
Throw him down.
I'll speak to Black Jesus for some advice.
You should
Ooh.
actually drop Le'Veon Bell, and then if he suddenly becomes eligible, just use all of your Fabianos together.
We should tempt everyone.
That's what you should
a good
do.
point.
Yeah.
You
Trail
just have
the
a,
carrot.
that's a free roster.
But he only
spot
has
right
like 3
there.
days to do that.
I mean, I know like your team is full of studs, so I know you need some space up in that roster.
Very good roster. Okay.
I don't need a kicker this week. Though.
This is getting a bit long.
Is my kicker playing? Oh wait, I suppose he's not playing at all. Is he playing now?
No, he's Lutz. He's playing at like 3 in the morning. You
Okay.
can still
I got time.
change it.
I got time.
Okay, let's look at the rest. Okay, and I remember one of the polls was who's going to use up all their Fabianos first. We have Mark on 3.
Three Fabies.
Mark has spent a lot of Fabianos. He can't drop that standard 3 or 4 Fabianos in a defense anymore. I don't know what he's going to do. Because his team is quite weak. I mean, with Mark, I really don't think you have the best team. Rick on 6 Fabianos, so it's looking like a tight race. Everyone else is neither here nor there. And then you're Carl and fucking 7.
Oh, I've been outbid most times.
Yeah, nice Carl.
I'm sure you were outbid.
Very
Okay.
nice, very nice.
Okay, then we get to the waiver wire this week. Brendan dropping a solid 18 on Traquan Smith.
After
Now-
having him
and I,
2 weeks ago,
I especially requested that everyone send
you
in-
dropped him, Brendan, and now you have him again.
Did he really do that?
He did.
Dropped him last week and I picked him up for 18.
Because he didn't get any targets or receptions.
Brendan
Or did
has 16 Fabianos left, so more than half of what he had left. I don't know. I suppose at this point of the season, like, I mean, no one that special is going to pop up. Carl's not going to have him.
No, I've already conceded.
So Shane sent me a private message. Shane actually he said that he put 17 on Traquan. So Shane just outbid there, but probably wouldn't have mattered in the end. I don't know, Brendan's probably just trying to entertain himself on a Friday morning. Early Friday morning, that is. Okay? Then,
Also, Nick, with his team name The Revival, picking up Baker Mayfield. There's a story there. There's a storyline there. Baker Mayfield having a season revival, new coach, new OC. I see big things ahead for Baker, not for The Revival, unfortunately.
Baker and the Browns, including if they ended up with Condoleezza Rice as their general manager.
That would have been
which
sick.
apparently was a possibility.
That would have been sick.
Condoleezza Rice, guys, I think Secretary of State?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some very
Something
high-ranking
political.
US position. So that would have been fun. Otherwise, finally, like the only player in my team is on bar this week, Patrick Mahomes. So pretty worried. Picked up Baker.
Yeah, you're gonna suck. Anyways, let's
Okay,
move
wait,
on
let's
to.
do Cameron Brate. It's a lot.
No one cares.
Okay, Gareth did spend 11 Fabianos on Gus Edwards. Don't look at it. Who does he play for? Yeah, exactly. No one
Who is
fucking knows. Okay, the Ravens. He picked up
Anyways,
his Ravens boy. Got
moving
some
on to
Raven
drops.
So, with you with that, what Robbie Grant?
People decided to finally part
Ryan.
ways
Ryan Grant.
with Jimmy Jizzy Graham.
Yeah. He broke his finger.
Oh,
He's been trying out splints. at
Nick
practice.
finally dropped Christopher Thompson, the Boychi, and the rest, no one cares.
Gareth Austin Eckler. It's been a love-hate relationship.
No,
this
he's
season,
a tough
Gareth.
one, eh?
I mean, how many times have you picked up and dropped Austin Eckler? OJ Howard back on the. He's dropped again. Oh, I might want to pick him up. Actually, no one has dropped. No one's dropped. Okay. Funchess, Anthony Miller. No one cares about these guys.
Thank you.
Cool. Let's get to some polls. I don't think we've really looked at this. We have some. What are the polls? Everyone voted. Look at that. Okay, so I didn't put them in any particular order.
Oh, that was early in the season. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can't vote
starting
on that.
off, what's the better trade? The Ingram Amari versus AB. Trade rape is a real thing. Let's not.
So there were 8 votes
Let's not
cast.
underplay it.
Mark won the trade, obviously.
Gareth is now part of me too.
Yeah.
Who is the worst top 30 pick? Delvici, Nick.
Yep.
Unlucky.
Considering that he's played a lot of games.
Even if you picked him around later, you'd still be worse.
Kenyon Drake with a worthy second place at 33% of the votes. So thank you for voting.
But
for
he did
Kenyon.
some things. He did some things. Kenyon did some things. And like if Gareth played Kenyon Drake when he performed, he wouldn't have been that bad a pick. You know, he would have been a guy that's performing that's just inconsistent. But unfortunately,
comment on any of these? Any of them tickle your fancy? We don't even have to look at all the fucking polls. Who drafted the worst team? Mark. Thank you for voting, everyone.
Who was the best top 30 draft pick?
Who was the best wide
It's a
receiver?
toss-up between
I don't mind, guys. I'm gonna vote.
Alvici, Kamara, and Michael Thomas.
Well, your team's bad,
team.
Carl.
I'm going to vote
Oh,
for
yeah,
myself.
Carl,
I feel
sorry.
better.
No, your team's bad. That's
That's
why no
not
one
great.
voted for your guys. I don't know if you noticed, but you lost.
Who was the? Wait, I just want to mention something. Here. Who was the
2019
best? Who was the best wide receiver draft pick? Adam
I think it was
Thielen and Cooper Cup.
probably.
Like they are tied for good reason, I think. Adam Thielen, what the fuck? Cooper Cup, like very very nice. But also like no one voted for Tyreek Hill. I thought Tyreek Hill was a pretty good pick.
Given that Monday night performance,
Yeah, he was like a
even
fifth
be wide
rounder.
receiver
And
one.
he's like a top 5 wide receiver.
I've
That's
looked
ridiculous.
recently, he might be wide receiver one.
Yeah, I mean he's on fire. He's
Okay,
on fire. Not a single vote.
Okay, this one catches my eye. Who is the most impossible person to trade with? Somehow with 7 votes, I won that with 57%.
Have you been traded this season? Oh, yes, you have. Never mind.
Super spicy trade. There
Very
are a few
nice.
people in this league that haven't even traded. So
Okay, and like
probably not fair.
Carl Rory Tar at the
I'd like
bottom
to ask
there.
Brendan, how difficult was that for you? You just offered me a trade and I said, okay.
Yeah, because you're
So
really,
difficult.
Yeah.
Nick's a bit sour.
Sounds
with
very
this
difficult.
poll. Rory.
Rick's still looking to lose his trade virginity. It'll
Yeah.
happen one day, Rick. Offer a reasonable trade. Okay.
Le'Veon Bell's up for trade.
Carl's offering Le'Veon.
I mean, Sean will take him. Let's be honest. Sean will definitely take him.
Who will spend all their Fabiolas first? Money was on Mark. Mark is winning. He's in 3 left.
But now Mark's going to be stubborn and not
Now
going to
he's
spend
gonna know
a
that.
single extra Fabiano.
Okay, I'm tired of these now. Okay, matchups. Thursday Night Football. In our first matchup, we have me versus Rory.
Nice.
Thought we'd start off with that one, not the most exciting matchup, given that my team is bad and Rory's not
Agreed.
that. Okay, so I'm playing Jordan Howard. That's my only player involved. With no Mitchell Trubisky, they're going to have to lean on the run.
He's against that mighty Detroit D-line, that impenetrable fortress. I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere, mate. Negative yardage. I'm calling it now.
Carl, what do you think about that pick?
I don't know, eh?
Okay, but he's
Jordan
up
Howard,
against
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
up
Give us
against
an opinion, Carl. Come on.
he is
They're
up
gonna have to
against
run it.
Julio. He's
Yeah.
up against Julio.
They're going to have to run it.
Who's up against Julio? What does that mean?
It's like it's OJ. It's Jordan Howard versus Julio
in the
Jones.
matchup.
In
Julio.
the matchup.
Yeah, against the poorest Saints team.
Julio.
Saints team
Got
have
off.
improved recently. Marshawn
But-
Lattimore, I'm backing you, my boy. You shut down Julio.
Oh
you
my
got
God,
it.
that's gonna be
I know,
embarrassing.
Marshawn, I know you're gonna watch this video.
It's gonna be embarrassing.
You fucking shut Julio down.
Okay, next matchup. Okay, Rory wins next.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Next
okay,
matchup.
whatever.
By
Okay,
20 at least.
Johnny NFL dropout. I think that's Gareth versus Mark.
Gareth already with the little jab there. Johnny NFL dropout.
Ooh.
Trying to hit him in the feels.
Or was that,
I like it.
Or was that
I
him
like
dropping
it.
out of the league?
I like it.
Ooh, jeez, Carl.
The
Just
fantasy, the fantasy relevant players here are Mark Ingram, Amari Cooper, and the Skins, the R words.
Orwoods with a solid D.
Quite a
Look,
nice showing.
Unfortunately, I think their D is going to have to do a lot of defending. Given Alex Smith's injury last week. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers to Alex
Actually.
Smith.
Thoughts and prayers. Sending them.
Although they probably have one of the better backups in the league, Colt McCoy. So I think Colt can hold. I think they might win.
Yeah,
I think the Redskins might fucking
they're a
win.
boring team.
They're playing the Cowboys.
They're a boring team.
Okay, so no Trubisky. No, sorry.
Okay.
Mark Ingram, Amari Cooper, Gareth. I told Gareth. He asked me before we did this. I told him to play Amari. Gareth, Amari over Tariq. If it fails, I'm sorry. I'm backing you against Mark. Mark has Kenny Golladay.
Oh, Baby Tron.
We
He's
we
on
like-
fire.
we like
He
us
is
some
on
Kenny.
fire.
We like us some Kenny. Okay, don't call it a comeback, Shane, with no one playing. Very exciting. We have a very disappointing Thanksgiving. And then against Brandon, who's pretty loaded. He's got his Drew Brees and Traquan Smith combination, as well as the Bears D, who might do some disgusting things to Detroit, no offense.
Really, they're going to concede 40
Matty
points.
Staff, Matty
40
Staff.
points, and then the second half comes.
Jesus, okay. Cool. The next is Carl versus Chris.
Yes.
Oh, you guys playing each other?
Oh.
Nice.
So you're going down.
I knew that. I knew that.
Oh,
Carl
I
didn't
suppose
know that.
not much.
I did, but I was
Not much hype.
on the dollar.
Not much hype for this
Is there
game.
no one playing now?
No.
Golden Tate's not even playing because he
So
doesn't.
Tevin?
Let's go later game. Yeah.
So Tevin is playing for Carl at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. I won't be up, but yeah.
Problem is, it's like the Saints are going to score about 3,000 points, and then they're not going to be able to run it all.
No, but he...
Fun fact
You're a
about the
receiver.
Saints: they have punted the
Well,
ball 8 times in their last 6 games.
But like this is Atlanta. They don't just
It's
like
a hot
lay an,
offense.
they don't lay an egg on offense that often.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara is
It's gonna
probably
be a
going to
high-scoring
score
game.
2 touchdowns early, and then not play for the rest of the game because they've already won
Okay.
against a terrible Falcons D.
Maybe he'll get 35 points.
Will Lutz is in your lineup.
Why are you playing a kicker?
I need to remove him. Sorry,
Oh.
apologies.
Jeez.
It's pretty hectic.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
Okay, and our final game of the week, Rick with a spicy little take 2. Rick was formerly the only person to beat Sean up until this last week. So Rick is hoping to repeat his week 2 performance. I think it was week 2.
Yeah, it was.
With Michael Thomas playing.
What a
Michael
performance.
Thomas versus Matt Ryan. I reckon Michael Thomas is going to get more points than Matt Ryan. Even though
I
Matt
would
Ryan's
agree.
a quarterback.
I would agree.
So yeah, I think that brings an end to our Thursday night preview. I think
I would-
let's give a
I
quick
would-
game prediction.
I'd just like to start off the game predictions by calling the Lions to beat the Bears. That's our first one.
Which is already started.
Matthew Matty Ice Stafford, the man with ice in his veins, aka the Ice Man,
Okay.
the Sub-Zero hero.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This man is very icy. He is the true, the real, the original Matty Ice.
I'm hoping for a draw.
He's
'cause
taken Detroit
two other
home.
teams in the NFC North. Have,
He's taken Detroit
Right.
home.
Alright, can we not talk about the Rams Chiefs game?
ooh,
That was a...
Carl,
That was
Carl,
very
Flair.
talk us through the Rams
Oh,
Chiefs game.
That's
Good.
what happened.
Well, the Rams won, so we're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, Carl's a Rams supporter.
Bang!
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, John, you are a Rams supporter.
He actually started supporting them before they were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were super jacked.
Jeff Fisher.
And
It's,
I have
it's
the
all
best
because
back.
he drafted Todd randomly.
And I have the best bucket hats in the league, just saying.
Ooh.
It's okay. It's an okay bucket hat.
You should be wearing a bucket hat. You actually have one. Okay, quick game prediction. Bears Lions. Okay, you've called
Called
it.
it.
Carl, I will allow you to call Cowboys Saints Skins. Cowboys versus the R words. Colt
I'm
McCoy
going with
versus
the-
Dak Prescott.
No, I'm going with the Skins as well on this one.
Quarterback duel for the ages.
I'm going with the boys. Obviously, the Cowboys and
But
the
like
Lions,
generally,
what
what
the
people say about the boys is that they're going to win these next few games so that they can have a catastrophe and then not make the playoffs right at the
fuck?
end.
Exactly, Cowboys.
So they might win this game.
Okay.
You know
and
Alex
then-
Smith,
And
the
then
slinger?
and then the Saints versus
Saints, Falcons.
The Falcons.
the Saints. Are, I mean, they saw what the Chiefs and
But like the Falcon, this could be one of those games where the Saints just don't perform and the Falcons dollar. Like they can do that.
no. What's going to happen is
It's gonna
that
happen.
there was that Monday night game. Drew Brees probably got a bit touched. He's going to have to do it by himself. Saints to score 80 against the Falcons.
Alvin scoring
That's my prediction.
maybe 5 tutties, give or take a tutty or 5.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Okay, and yeah, that's it. Enjoy.
You better be playing Carry On Johnson
We're hoping
right
to
now.
get this video out probably before the second half of the Lions Bears game. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us
Thank
and
you
our
very
special
much.
guest Carl.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much
joining
for
us,
taking
Carl.
some time out of your very busy work schedule.
Thanks, yeah, it was tough, but I'm here.
Any closing remarks?
No, none really. I've given up for the season. So
Yeah.
I'm there to just ruin some people's
It's over.
playoff hopes, maybe.
It's over.
Sounds good. Okay, and see you guys on Sunday. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Woo!
Fuck you, bro. I'll hit a woman. I don't care.
Oh, yes.
I'll
Like,
hit a woman.
yes, like Jesus.